Hi all, good afternoon. Today I would be speaking you through on my project which is fraudulent transaction detection system. As part of the project, I would be giving you the quick walkthrough on the different steps which we have used as part of the project development. First, we would be giving you a quick walkthrough on the opportunity evaluation. Then we would be getting deep into the business understanding of this problem using the CRIS DM model. Then we would be validating the concept and we would be providing you the different validation techniques which we would be using. Fourth, we would be going through with the system design, how we need to think about the system design of this particular problem. And the last would be the potential risk which we see in production for these set of ML models. First one is opportunity evaluation. For that, we have using the three-step approach. First, the problem identification. So fraudulent financial transaction poses a significant risk to the investment management organization, including regulatory penalties, damage to reputation, financial losses, and the compromised reliability. Fraudsters are employing new and the latest techniques to breach the system, and that basically necessitates that we need to have more advanced fraud detection systems for them. So from someone care, so right now the organization viability depends on the way we are the organization is able to detect and stop the different fraudster, because that inculcate or that build trust of the customers on the system. So for any of the organization, detection of fraud is one of the key challenge which they're trying to solve. Can ML help to solve it up? We basically think that ML is the right solution over here because the data velocity and the data volume of the transaction is humongous, and the ML model is the right thing because it can get trained on the huge large data set and it can able to learn from that huge data set. Yeah. Moving further, getting deep into the business understanding. So on business understanding, we have used the CRIS DM model. So the target user of this particular project would be that it would be the risk management team within the asset management industry. Next would be the problem statement. So problem at hand is the need to enhance the detection and prevention of fraudulent transaction in real time. Why it matters? Fraudulent activities not only jeopardize the financial health of the organization, but it also poses a risk to the reputation, integrity, and the stability of the organization. So addressing this issue is really critical and crucial by the organization. Current state is that in the traditional world we have been using the rule-based system to detect the fraudulent transaction. But yes, as and when the industry is evolving or the fraudsters are evolving, we need to employ the advanced, sophisticated techniques to detect all of these frauds. If we move further, how we define success? Success would be defined into following key parameters. One is the expected impact. The impact would be that our system should be able to promptly detect all of the fraudulent transactions and then intervene to stop that transaction in the real time. Second would be the metrics, the success measured by the model accuracy and the precision exceeding 95%, that we should be able to detect 95% of fraudulent transaction. Next, the target would be that it would be a multi-year target of reducing at least fraudulent activities by 10 million through effective detection and prevention measures in a time span of 3 years. Then the constraint is that solution needs to be real time and we need to trigger or stop, prevent any kind of damage in the real time basis. Further jumping into the factors, there are multi-factors which would be considered, or multi-features which would be considered as part of the project development, starting with the IP address reputation details, then the device fingerprinting details, third would be the transaction anomalies detail, fourth would be the blacklist and the whitelist check details, and the last one is related to the time of transactions or the unusual timings of the transaction. These are the initial features which we have thought would be minimal be required to come up with this ML model for this particular project. Getting further, so from a validation plan, we feel that it would be an iterative process. We would be first be conceptualizing our problem uh, system system by creating the mock-ups, giving them a quick walkthrough to the stakeholders to take their inputs to to basically be on the correct path to develop this system. Next would be that we would be using an iterative process to create the model. We would be training the initial model, then basically we would be evolving that up using the different data set, using the different features, so that we should be able to detect most of the fraudulent transactions. Yeah. Last would be related to the real world testing, that we would like to do the real world testing by deploying the model in the production environment just to check the accuracy of this particular model. Next, moving further on the ML system design, we feel that because it's a complex problem with a huge data set volume and the data velocity, we feel that it would be a cloud-based system. Because we require the huge processing power, then we require a scalability, and we require the huge storage capacity to store all of these transactions. So next, the online learning. So we would employ an online learning that the model should learn and train itself on a real-time basis. The prediction again would be the real time, that we need to predict and stop the transaction on the real-time basis. So it would be an online prediction system. Moving further on the potential risk, we feel that there would be the three types of risk, starting with the data drift, because the transaction patterns are changing, user behavior are changing. So our model should incorporate all of those things. We need to find a mitigation strategy to come over that. So that can be by continuous monitoring and retraining the pipelines to adapt to the changing data distribution. Second would be the concept drift. There can be evolving fraudsters are coming with new tactics, so our system needs to get evolved. There are new changes and the regulatory changes are coming up. So we just need to update or train our model with the new data set and the techniques, and to incorporate the feedback from the fraud detection expert. Last one would be the model degradation, lack of regular training or using the static feature set. We feel that model can get degrade as we move further in time. Yeah. So by using all of these techniques, we would be able to create this particular system, which would be able to help investment management industry to detect and prevent them from the fraudulent transactions. So thank you for your time.